Hello and welcome to the podcast. Okay, Karen?
Okay, Karen.
We are giving you a bonus episode tonight, the final bonus episode of Circle, one of our fun reality shows that we both like.
Yes.
And we're
Love
going
it.
to recap episode 11 and 12, which is the final episode. So we're going to talk about who is the winner of this show we've been watching.
Yes. So let's get started. Episode 11 starts with Sammy and Ed having a private chat here. And this is really important chat because they start questioning people. Ed has kind of put the doubt in people's head about Rebecca. Sammy and Chris had been talking about Rebecca. Then Ed pops in and again, and then Joey. So they start questioning. Now, Sammy still, though, is like, no, Joey is loyal. Joey is real. I believe that. But that's
the thing, too, I thought was interesting because she's like, but Shuby really likes Rebecca. Like, yeah. Because she's dedicated to Shubham, then she's like,
yes,
Shuby really likes Rebecca.
And I think that helps Rebecca with a lot of them, that Shuby likes you and is on your side. Because they don't want to make Shuby mad either.
So I think Sammy realizes too, because she said something here about how she feels like she has beer goggles on. She's like, I've been here so long with these people that I might not see something because
Ed's the new guy. Yes.
And
yes.
people come in and I'm like, wait, that's kind of true. Like she can see that in herself, that's interesting.
Right.
So, yeah.
So then we have anything else you want to say about their chat?
And nothing about their chat. I did want to say something about Shubham.
Then we have Joey and Shubham start a chat, and they talk. Go ahead.
Well, I was just a side note. Shubham is doing something ridiculous he's like strings and like poster board out, and he says he's making a graph and he's going to look at how the ratings could be and predict what the outcomes would be. And I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, first of all, you don't know what people are going to rank. So if you to put what you think people are going to rank, you're starting off with data that doesn't make any sense because you don't know. You're physically making like strings and I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's funny. I don't really know what's going on. So, but they have a discussion about the fact that Joey did not get rid of Rebecca when he was an influencer, and he kept Rebecca for the sake of Shubham and their friendship, basically.
Yeah, which, that's just how loyal Joey is. So anything else about that? Because then we have an alert.
Yeah, and I like this game.
It is. It's most likely. So people have to match, and it's not anonymous. What's the word? Unanimous? What? No.
Anonymous.
And
I'm like, what are we saying here?
I don't know. I'm opening my mouth and some stuff's coming out. It's not even words, obviously. It's just so my bad. It's what's the word?
Anonymous.
It's anonymous. That's right. It's anonymous.
You know what your vote is.
Everyone sees that's what I should have just said. Everyone sees who you put down.
Is what it is.
It's what?
Class superlatives. Senior class superlatives. Most popular, most whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then you vote. You say who you
right. So we start with who's likely to die in a zombie apocalypse. And that's fun. And most everyone says Joey, which is kind of surprising to me.
And their reasoning was hilarious. They're like, he'll just go after them. He'll be like, rah, right at them. Which I thought was so funny. They all said Joey. They didn't all. Somebody said Chris, and then somebody said Rebecca.
One said, Rebecca. And then the next one, who would run for president? And this was everyone said Shuby.
Yes. I thought that was interesting. Everyone said Shuby. And maybe it's a side of Shuby that we haven't really seen. I don't know.
But then did you hear Shuby said, hey, fun fact, I actually ran for governor of California in 2018 and came in second to last, but was proud that I did it.
Yeah.
Go, Shuby.
And he was the youngest person, I think, ever to run. So I saw this because I looked him up for something with this in our research on Wikipedia. And it says ran as governor candidate for. I was like, is this before or after the circle? It was before.
Yeah. Then the next one was who would remain friends, and I think everyone put Joey again.
That's Rebecca,
which shows his character of how loyal he is and how people perceive him.
Yeah, everybody put him. Rebecca put Shoe Bomb, but everybody else put Joey.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then the last one, who would hold a grudge? And Ed kind of a lot of people put Sammy. Ed jokes with her. Chris kind of jokes with her too. It's all in fun and games. I don't think anyone took that very seriously.
No, and somebody put Chris also, and he was like, forgiving queen or something like that.
You have to love Chris. You really do.
I do.
So then we have another alert. And this is the final time for the final ratings. Yeah. So everyone is thinking like, what? This is it? This is the final? And it said there's going to be no influencers.
Yeah.
And the ratings decide the winner, period.
Like right now, whoever comes in first is winner.
Yes.
And they're all
crazy.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that really does make a difference. Like they were, who you're going to vote in first and second and third and fourth. Like that makes a big difference if you're voting for the winner or if you're voting for who you want to be the influencer. So,
yes.
Yeah. And they also know it's the end.
Yes. So they put their ratings in. They all go. This actually goes through the ratings a lot. Like lets people.
Actually.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, because I didn't make any.
So they don't tell you everyone, and I think because there's still one more episode, so they don't want people kind of calculating it out on their own, which you could do if you had everybody's.
Right.
So they jump around a lot, but they tell you, I have a few of them. So Chris, they tell you Chris voted Joey as first place and Ed as fifth place. So there's only 5 places. There's 6 of them, but you can't vote for yourself. So 5 places. So Joey was his first, Ed was his fifth. Joey has kind of like a little moral dilemma here. And it really shows him deciding like, how do I want to play this? Because if there's someone that he loves, like Shoe Bomb, but who is also his competition, if he puts Shoe Bomb as first, then he's most likely putting himself lower and maybe not because he put Shoe Bomb higher when he knows.
Which is kind of smart for Joey.
Yeah, because he knows other people are going to put Shoe Bomb higher. So Joey puts Sammy first, Shuby second, but I have to tell you this. First, he says, put Shoe Bomb as fourth. And I was like, oh, he put Shoe Bomb as fourth? And then he's sitting there and he's like, I can't do it. I have to go with what my heart says. And he's like, the circle, put Shoe Bomb as number 2. And he moves him up. And I was like, oh, Joe.
And this is one of the reasons why you just love Joey. I mean, when we started this, I said Joey was like way low, and he has moved up to, I would put Joey as number 1.
He's just very loyal, and he's a friend.
Yes. His whole character, his mama did good.
Because even like him and Chris, they get along. But I was surprised that Chris put him first. I thought Chris would have put Sammy first. And Chris was like, Joey's my number 1. He's been my number 1. Like, he's great. And I'm like, that really shows that Joey was just a really good guy in the game. So he put Sammy first. He changed his mind and put Shuby second because he just can't do it. And then he put Ed third, which kind of surprised me that he put Ed third over.
He likes Ed. They're both Italian.
Chris also. Yeah, they get along. But Ed has not been there very long. Ed puts Chris second. The only ones we know is he puts Chris second and he puts Sammy fourth. That's all they showed us about Ed. Sammy, it doesn't tell us her first and second. So I'm assuming it would be Shoe Bomb, and it might have been Ed, but I'm assuming it was Shoe Bomb and Joey, but I don't know. So Sammy has third is Rebecca and fourth is Chris. So We don't know who her other ones were.
Yeah.
Rebecca, not surprising. Seaburn, Rebecca put Shubham as first, and she put Joey as fourth. So we don't know what her second and third were as well. So
I would say Sammy and Chris, because I think she would put Ed as fifth, because Ed kind of came after her.
it called her out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the ones that they showed us, because I was like, oh, I want to write them down, because they showed us a lot more than they usually do as far as the ratings.
Right. And them talking about it and, you know, strategizing, whatever. I don't know why I can't talk this episode. Sorry.
Maybe because of the wine.
Possibly. So then it comes out, the least popular player is going to be blocked now. And everyone's like, oh.
Because they thought they were done with this crap.
Yes. And it's Ed. Ed's gone. So our top five.
By this?
No, not at all. Because your top five are the original. Joey, Sammy, Chris, Shubham, Rebecca. And actually they're all like looking at it, and they're all proud, I think, because they all also made it. They together, they've gone through this. Sammy says at one point, it's like we're the Power Rangers.
Yes.
So Ed's mom
I wrote that down also. That's hilarious. Like, I feel like we're the Power Rangers. Like,
right. It's so cute. Ed's mom is crying.
I wrote this down too. I was like, okay, Karen. Like,
right.
So upset. And she's like, maybe you wouldn't win it, but I thought that like we would at least get within the top five. And he's it's okay, Mom. Like, he's like comforting his mom. They literally, there's no way they could have been there more than 48 hours. Like,
no.
I really think this is the second day they're there. And then she's like, I just want to go home. Like, legitimately crying right now. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It is kind of embarrassing. Let's be honest.
It's just a game, and you've been there very long.
Right.
Okay. Anyway.
So Ed gets to go meet someone. Who did you think he was going to meet?
I thought he was either going to see Joey, Rebecca, or Sammy, because him and Sammy got along because they're both from the same area.
Right. I thought he was going to go see Joey. So he goes and sees Sammy, which to me was kind of I was surprised a little bit because I thought Joey. But they sit down, he starts talking, and then the mom comes in, and Sammy's like, what? You know, so she gets to see, it's two people. I have nothing to say about their talk. Do you?
Not really. He asked, like, is there anything that you weren't truthful about? And she's like, yeah, I do have a boyfriend. And
that's true.
Like, what? First of all, she lives in Florida now. She doesn't even live in Pennsylvania anymore.
Right.
So I thought that was funny. I think
you know what else I thought was funny? So Shuby was like, this is the 5th peanut butter and jelly sandwich I have made for my guests, and they've never come. So he just eats it. I thought that was cute. So that's the final day of them in the circle.
And I don't think they really make a, what was I going to say? They don't really make a cliffhanger. I think we're already invested enough. They don't make a cliffhanger.
Oh, for sure. Like,
we're going to see what's going to happen next, because we know the final ratings. So that's night.
Yeah. So then when we wake up, there's an alert first thing, and they're like, oh, I thought we were done with this. And they say, hey, there's a luxury breakfast outside. So everyone gets like muffins, orange juice, Prosecco. Shuby's so cute. He's like, ooh, this Prosecco's strong. I'm just, and they all do like a big circle chat talking about things, and it's cute.
Cute that they just were kind of like, this is great, everybody. It was a nice moment to have before they're worried about, am I the winner? Who's the winner?
Right.
It's like, look where we got, we did it with our friends. So I thought that
was And then Ed leaves a video. So they're like, oh, Ed left a video. Let's see what Ed said. Is Ed really Ed? And he comes on, and they're like, oh, he's Ed. And then Tammy, his mama, comes, and they're like, what? And Joey says, I wish I would have brought my mom. She would have had the best version of Joey.
That's what I wrote down too. He was like, I should have brought my mom. You to help me be the best version of myself. And I'm like, of
Yes.
course. Joey would have brought his mom if he could have, I think. So
Oh, I think for sure.
that was really cute, Joey. I did notice that Rebecca Schubam is like, so Ed was catfishing.
Yes. Because
I'm like, look here, buddy. I know that you're kind of crapping your pants about this because you were going to have to go confront people, but and it's the end of the game now, and you made it this far playing as Rebecca, but that is not the same thing. I mean,
Right.
they all thought it was kind of funny. They're like, oh my gosh, his mom's there like helping him out with what to say. Nobody sees that as like not being genuine, like not being trustworthy. Like I wouldn't see it that way. If mom would still be like, okay, it was still you, but your mom was just helping you with what to say. I think you could kind of see it as catfish. I just think that Seaburn was stretching it because he felt bad.
Right. I agree.
Okay.
So then we get videos. People that haven't received a video get a video. And that's Shuby, Chris, and Rebecca. Shuby gets a video from his dad, and it's really cute. Chris gets one from his mom.
Cute. He's all like,
is.
You can do it, son.
Yeah. we believe in you. Chris gets one from his mom, and it's really cute. And then Rebecca gets one from her. Rebecca Seaburn gets one from her girlfriend. And I thought that was weird. She was just like, I just miss you so much. And I'm like, wait, y'all haven't been away from each other that long. It's not like he's not in war. He's on a TV show.
Okay, I thought this was really weird too. And I made a note because it was like, that's just kind of, okay, this is why I felt weird. Everybody else, the videos made it about that person. They were like, we're so proud of you. Like we miss you around here. Like Chris's mom was like, we miss your positive spirit and how fun you are around here. You're doing great. We're so proud of you. But whoever this girl is, I thought it was Rebecca until then. And then you said
I think they said her name was Sammy or something in real life. And the narrator says, so who's Rebecca? So I didn't understand that part. And I didn't rewind it to see.
Really is like the whole video, like, we just miss you so much. And this is really hard, but I'm glad you're there. But this is really hard not having you here. And I'm going to add up the days here, but I think we're on day 8.
Yeah. Like, have y'all never gone on a vacation?
Maybe 10. Or maybe this is day 10. That's not that long.
No.
I mean, it is no communication. So that is harder. Like if, you could call whenever you're traveling or something. But that was just a lot. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was, to me, I thought, ooh, you need to go get a life.
But also, I guess to me also, I would know like, this is going to be shown to everyone. It's not a message, and also like, even though I'm struggling and I want him here, I want to be like encouraging, like, you're doing it, honey. Like you're still there, like this is it. Like you could like, woohoo, get $100,000,
Right. That's true.
But I mean, Seaburn really liked it. He was like tearing up and he, felt very emotional about it. So seeing his girlfriend, and you could tell that, I mean, it seemed like they really love each other. So
oh yeah.
Each his own.
So then after that, we get another alert, and they're like, oh, we're still getting alerts. But this one says there's one last circle chat. The catch, it's going to be face-to-face. And everyone's like, yes! Except Seaburn is like,
oh, please.
Yeah. So it's really,
I'm sorry. And he said, I made my bed, now I have to lie in it. Like he feels really bad. And I mean, you've been deceiving people that think you're
he kind of should feel really bad.
Yeah, because Shubham like is just gonna feel like really heartbroken and like a stab in the back. I defended you literally every chance I could.
Right.
And you're not even the person you say you are. Like that's
yes.
weird. Like you can't build, because Sammy was like, hopefully we meet in person. We can what we already know. We can just like in real life be friends also. She says that. But that's not going to happen with Seaburn because they're all going to be like, we don't even know you.
Right. So
Yeah.
They all get dressed up. Shuby comes in first, and he's in his cute little oatmeal suit, looking all precious.
Yeah.
And he walks in and he sees at the table, and he's like, wow, this is so nice. It's fancy in here. And everyone has a plaque. So he goes and sits, at his place. And then in walks this guy. And Shuby is like, that's it. It stops right there. So
Shuby sees him.
Yeah.
And
Rebecca walks in and it just stops. So we're like,
this was the biggest clip for me. This was the biggest cliffhanger because I wanted them see each other. And I was like,
I wish Rebecca would have walked in last.
Yes.
And I'll tell you on episode 12 why I wish that.
Okay, episode 12.
Do you want to? Okay. Yes. So episode 12, Rebecca walks.
This is the last one.
This is it, people. This is the finale. Rebecca walks in and Shuby is like,
who are
Joey?
You?
He says, Joey? And he's like, Rebecca. And Shuby's like, oh. And, Shuby doesn't have a great poker face.
No.
So
he is so like innocent and naive about stuff. He cannot.
Yes. So he's just like, oh. And then Seaburn gives his whole
reasoning.
Yes. Guys can't show emotion. And this is why I want it to be a girl. So, because girls get to go further and they can show more. But it really was me.
That doesn't make any sense. And second of all, he's talking to Shuby, and Shuby showed emotion. So that doesn't really work.
Thank you. Shuby takes this very well, though. And I'm like, Shuby, you were really mad at other people that were catfishing.
Not even really. So Sean, he was really upset.
Yes.
As yourself. At least Sean was still a girl.
Thank you. Yes.
He just used pictures.
This is why.
Also, Sean only was 48 hours in before she told everybody. That's not long.
So this is why I wish Seaburn would have gone last. So everyone else that was their true self, and then Seaburn coming in, because he kind of has to tell that story about, guys don't show emotion. And I'm like, first of all, I don't believe that. I don't even understand that. And I think you should be kind of called out a little bit more than what you are.
Yes.
Anyway.
And I think that everyone they don't know how to call him out. You know what I mean? Like, what do you say? Especially when you're meeting everybody else and
face to face.
But I want to say the people who have gotten high in this game, besides you, Rebecca Seaburn, Joey has shown plenty of emotion. Shubham has shown emotion, and they have been influencers more than you were as Rebecca. So that obviously wasn't what sold you and making it where you were, was that you were showing emotion as Rebecca. That's not what I mean. You could have gotten just as far as a guy.
Right.
Emotion. Now, I would have trusted him more if he just said, I think she's prettier, and that goes over better online. I would have taken that as a better answer than the emotion thing, because I'm like, well, we have guys that are ahead of you in the rankings,
let's be honest. I think at this point, he's just throwing stuff out to deflect.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. So who comes in?
Then Sammy comes in. And Sammy's like...
She's all dressed up.
Yeah. But she's like... And Shuby's like, that's Rebecca! And Sammy's like, whoa! And then she gives Shuby the biggest hug. Yeah. And then it's funny because Seaburn does say, listen, it was tough being a girl. Being a girl is hard. And Sammy's like, yeah. And he's like, I didn't realize y'all talk about all that. And she was like, oh, our periods? And he was like, yeah, y'all just say everything. And that is kind of funny, It
is, but you could see, Sammy doesn't, how is she going to hug him? And, she's like, I'm meeting a friend. And then with Rebecca, she's like,
And she just wants to pinch Shuby's butt. That's all she said. She said, for the past day, I want to do that. So
I can't wait to see him. which is so fun. I love that that's how I would be too.
Yeah, I like her. And so then Chris
Sammy,
comes in.
Chris, okay.
Yes. And Chris, again, they're all like, that's Rebecca. And he's like, oh, wow. It's because it's a surprise. That's why I wish Rebecca would have come in last.
Yeah.
Everyone's surprised at the same time. And then lastly, Joey, who I must say is looking mighty handsome. He looks good. He, even though he's much younger than me, but still looking good, Joey. He comes in and they are so thrilled that it is the real Joey, that Joey is real.
Yeah.
So,
because can you imagine how heartbreaking it would be if somebody else walked in?
I know.
I mean, that's been his whole thing from the beginning, is 100% genuine, 100% genuine. And then to come in, if it was somebody else, that would be terrible.
Yeah. So this is kind of awkward because they're all sitting around having dinner at a round table, and multiple comments like, I'm so glad we're real.
Yeah.
Rebecca's over there like, toot, 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 toot.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you guys are real and you weren't catfishing.
Yes.
So the other thing is, do you think it's on their mind right now? Like, one of us is the winners. It's already decided. We've already voted. Mm-hmm. I also would be thinking, like, if I were Shoe Bomb, and Shoe Bomb, did he put Rebecca as first place?
I don't know.
I don't have it. He didn't. It doesn't say. It did say, so Shoe Bomb did say when he was rating, he said, I'm not doing any tactics. I'm going by my heart. I've done that the whole game. But all they said was, no, he put Rebecca as second.
And so I bet he put Joey as one.
I bet he put Joey. But he's got to be sitting there saying, holy bleep, what if Rebecca Seaburn wins this whole $100,000 competition?
Yeah.
How pissed off would the other four be? We don't know. We don't know who the winner is at this point.
Right.
Oh, I would be like, it better not be her.
Yeah. So it leaves them, they're having dinner, and then it shows the narrator, and she goes into like a live with all the people that have been blocked. They're sitting there from the first one to the last one, and she kind of goes through everyone, and it's funny. She says, like, Ed, you brought your mama, and she mentions to Bill, like, dang, Bill, you just called some people out. She asked Miranda, who you excited to see? Everyone knows Miranda's excited to see Joey. Come on.
Now, do you think the rest of them that were blocked, do you think that they just had them stay, like, okay, now you guys can all stay in, like, apartments and wait until the end? Because this whole thing is only, like, a 10-day thing. So they probably sign up for, like, a 2-week commitment, and then they have them stay there, right?
Probably. I don't know.
Because they're all from different places. Would they be like, we'll fly home and then come back in 2 days for a reunion? Or like Ed, it's been like 5 hours.
Right. Yeah, so maybe they did that, probably.
Because it feels like longer, but the whole show was, I don't know.
It's very quick.
Very quick.
Yeah. So they bring out everyone. They bring out, Chris, Sammy, Shuby, Joey, and Seaburn. And they talk to
betrayed by freaking Seaburn at this point.
Yes. Yeah. And they talk to everyone, and they kind of go through the season and show their ups and downs, and it's funny, and it's,
I think it'd be fun for them each to watch it, the whole thing in its entirety when it airs, because there's so much that we see from the videos of the people in their apartments that they don't see. I mean, they never see them acting funny and like screaming with excitement, or like their reactions to things when they're videos. So that
Can I say this? I meant to say this, and I felt bad for Shuby, because when they're sitting at dinner and it's Shuby and Rebecca Seaburn and Sammy looks at Shuby and she's like, you were in love with her. And I was like, ooh. And Shuby was like, no, not in love. She's like my sister. And I'm like, oh, because that's what everyone thinks. Shuby loved Rebecca,
But Shuby has, at least we could see, he was always saying, she's like a sister to me.
Right.
So maybe they saw more that we didn't see, where he was like flirting, or he was saying that he liked her. I know when Rebecca was kind of like with Adam, talking to Adam, Shuby didn't say anything then. He was just like, well, I'm happy for you. Like, that's great. If, if he's sincere, awesome. He didn't really seem like he was interested in Rebecca. I don't think he seemed interested. But he definitely was like, I will go to bat for her and Joey for anything because she is a sister to me. So,
there was a connection for sure. Yeah. So we start at number 5.
5. Who's number 5?
Rebecca.
Yes.
I know.
So glad.
I was glad to.
He didn't win.
Yes. Number 4.
Now, how does Rebecca, could you see anyone's reactions? Could you see Seaburn's face when he's called his 5th?
Yeah, he was just, I'm obviously disappointed, that he didn't win.
Because like two ratings before, Rebecca was number 1. That's not that long ago.
But remember, Ed and Joey and Sammy and Chris all kind of started having doubts.
Yeah. And Joey called her out, shy or calculated.
Right. So did Ed.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Number 4, Chris. And I really like Chris, but I like all of them.
I can say this about Chris. I did really like Chris, but I can say that I liked Chris more in the beginning, and that might be because of the show wasn't showing us as much of him later on. Like, I don't know how much was videotaped that we didn't get to see. You know what I mean? Or because they couldn't put all the private chats on for us to see, so they picked which ones they wanted us to see. So
Good point.
I started liking Chris. Was one of my favorites from the beginning, but as the show went on, other ones like Sammy and Joey and she started going in my ratings higher. And it isn't anything Chris did, but I did see what some people said about Chris, that he is a kind of a politician. He doesn't rub anyone's feathers the wrong way or anything like that. So I could see why in this game, if you want to get ahead, you've got to start forming alliances. You've got to start like really working at it. And Chris was just like having a good time in his apartment, like making jokes about stuff, which is fine.
Right.
So,
so then 3rd, you ready?
Yes.
Sammy.
Oh, Sammy. I kind of wish he was higher, but I also understand with Shubham and Joey.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I know, it's so tough. And then it goes, so it's Joey and Shubham standing up there. And then they say first. And it's Joey.
Yay, Joey!
Yay! I'm so happy for him.
I know. He's great.
And he is so shocked. And everyone is so happy. And it just ends. That's it.
And he's going to be
Joey won
after this.
He's going to what?
He's going to be everybody's friend after this. He's going to stay
for sure.
Which is great.
For sure.
I really like Joey. I'm happy he got $100,000. If you were going to rank these 5, would you put them in the order that they ended up, or would you have changed something for you personally?
I'm thinking.
I can tell you.
I think I would keep that order.
You would keep that order?
I like it. It's a good order.
I would have thought that, but my feelings kind of changed a little bit as we got closer to the end. And I actually would have switched Shubham and Sammy. So I would have done Joey, Sammy, Shubham, Chris, and Rebecca. I really started liking Sammy more. Shubham, it's not like he did anything wrong. I just started liking Sammy more than him, you know?
Well, let's be honest too. It doesn't matter after 1. 2 through 5 doesn't get another prize. But yeah.
I just wondered for you personally what you would, if you were on the show, how would you have ranked them?
I would have put Joey first. You know.
And then Shubham and Sammy?
Probably, yeah. Maybe Sammy Shubham, but I'd have to think about that.
Yeah. About what you thought.
Yeah. But so I was happy Joey won. Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Now I can say they say they're going to have another season, but because of COVID, they haven't done it. So they're kind of waiting. The same with Love is, or no, that was Love is Blind that I looked up and they said they were going to do another season. They have this in other, I think they have one in France, one in Brazil, Australia.
I haven't watched that one.
I haven't watched them either because I think culturally it'll be a little different and I won't appreciate as much about it just because it's not as culture as what I'm used to. I also think that if they do another one in the US, it will be different because people know what to expect when they go on it. Whereas this one, they had no idea. So when they said the final ratings and the winner is going to be chosen right now, they were like, what? And then they say it's the final circle. They're like, this is the last day? Like, this is it? We're going home? Like,
but
they don't even know like how anything, when they get there the first day too, they don't even know ratings and voting off. They don't know anything about it. Whereas now going on to it, you at least know kind of how it would be, even though they'll surprise.
But I think they obviously, if they do have a second season, they're going to have to do more twist and instead of like this, we're going to do this and that, because you can't. Otherwise, people, even though it's like Survivor, the first season no one knew what to do. Second season, everyone's like alliance. So that's, I'm sure, what you're going to go in for. Hey, we're tight, right? Which is what's his name? The basketball player.
Antonio tried that, and that did not go over well because he was trying to. So you got my back, like with everybody. The first time we talked, like, dude, you need to chill out. How do I have your back? I don't even know who you are.
Yeah. So I hope y'all enjoyed the circle, all the bonus episodes. We
enjoyed it and talking with you about it.
Yes, drop some comments if you watched it, if you didn't, if you just listened to us. We're going to have more bonus episodes. I think we're going to do some movies next. Since Dirty Dancing kind of went over really well.
But you know what comes out August 6th? Sunset.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody have a good night.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Good night, Circle.
Good night.